I'm back to provide some more soul food. I never want to do too many messages. That's not me. They start to be redundant, saying the same thing over and over, and it takes me a while to come up with stuff because once it starts to weigh on me, then I'm clear about what I want to talk about. Like the last time I did a video on consistency, that one was received pretty well. I got a lot of good comments on that. Wondering how consistent people actually been. Did it go in one ear and out the other one? That remains to be seen. This one here, I'm gonna call it clarity, because I'm very clear on some things now, or a lot of things in my life, because I'm very conscious on so many different levels. It used to bother me, it did, but now it's just received so many different ways because of the amount of people that I have in my life on how they view me. I can't tell you how many stories I've been told since 2017 started. That's how I know this is going to be a great year. That's not saying all stories are great stories. It's not saying all stories are bad stories, but I hear a lot of people's pain. And the moment they receive clarity, their perspectives change. And when their perspectives change, their approach to life is different. Someone told me that life is hard. And I was like, in my opinion, I don't believe life is hard. I believe life is life. We all wake up with the same life. I believe decisions we make tends to make life a little harder to live, but you're still living. So life is life. The way I view things are totally different. And I had the pleasure of seeing a movie called The Shack. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It puts a lot of things in perspective because we don't realize, and I know I even didn't realize it. I'm no saint on how much we get in our way, how much we judge. We're quick to be deceptive, and then show lack of gratitude and blame others, and instead of accepting that it's us. When you get all that out the way, things are way more clear. You start to realize what you've been holding on to. You start to realize what you're struggling with. You start to realize that people that's around you aren't providing you with the clarity that you need to move forward. That's where the consistency comes from. But in order to be consistent, you have to be very clear about who you are and what you want to do in your life and how you plan on moving forward. I had the pleasure of learning about a story of a young lady that traveled not too long ago, and in her short term, her trip, she experienced some things that she wasn't expecting. But it made things come clear to her, and she's more conscious now. And when she came back home, she was shedding light to her and her family, and now they have clarity about things they didn't even know existed. So as painful that may have been in that moment, she's a better person for it. And so in so many stories that I hear people dealing with the pain, and they don't realize their pain is what's in their way. They've been holding on to it and don't even know it. So basically they're in their own way and they can't see things clear. I tell people all the time, you should see things as clear as children do. Children are so conscious because they're not tainted from everything else. It's clear on what they want to do. They're the most honest people on the planet. When that goes out the window, then we start making up and creating all our own perspectives on how it should be. There's so many things we can throw into it that clouds judgment. People like to throw politics, religion, love, jobs, and everything. At the end of the day, you have to be clear about what you're doing. You have to understand that if the person next to you is making you better and you're making them better, keep them. If that job next to you is making you better and you're making it better, keep it. If whatever in your life is making you better, keep it, because that is the only way things will start to get clear to you. That's the only way you're going to have clarity. It's a proven fact. And when you do, you'll start to, you can break down your timeline. You can go over it. You can start looking back on every moment. You'll be like, Man, I remember when that happened. I remember how low I felt. But then also remember what you learned from it. See, don't keep holding on to how low you felt. Remember what you got from that moment. And remember how much that moment made you stronger. So you can be clear now moving forward. No matter what happens, you got all the clarity you need to keep going. Because you can go down and break down your timeline. I'm quite sure everybody can, because I can. And you can see how it was presented to you. Every time, like boom, boom. I tell people all the time, God never leaves you. He doesn't. We assume that he does, but he doesn't. Because right when you're there, every time something shows like, that's might not be what you want to do, but we make a decision and we lose sight. And that's when you lose clarity. So, but then later on, something happens again and again and again. And if you're able to watch this video, you can break down your own timeline and you can see how much clarity you have to move forward. You don't have to continue to be frustrated and thinking that you're stuck. I'm stuck in this spot. I can't move forward. My kids because of this. My husband because of this. I'm single because of this. I messed up with this person because of this. My job doesn't want to do this. You're putting all that in front of you. And once you move one out the way, you put another one. And once you move one out the way, you put another one. There's no vision for you. Your vision only goes as far as the problem that you put in front of them. And lately, you've been putting a lot of problems in front of you. So you have no clarity. You have a bunch of excuses of why you can only go so far. And for every time that you got an excuse, there's somebody who's already done it and outdid it. So start moving stuff out your way. Things that you put in your path. So you can be very clear about where you want to go and how you need to get there. And remember, clarity is essential to life. So don't just be consistent. Be clear about who you are. Be clear about what you love. And be clear about what you stand for. And clarity will come to you just like it comes to me because I love being conscious. I love doing what I do. And every day people remind me of that. Matter of fact, I'm wearing something on my neck right now that a good friend of mine gave me because she said I provided an amount of clarity to her because my presence blessed her. In my mind, it was the other way around. She blessed me every time she walks up to me, like so many others do. So whenever I'm down and low, it's the people that come to me that provide me clarity because I look forward to seeing what's happening to them and I'm better for it. I'm better for it every time. Somebody gonna look at this video and be like, I disagree. I don't understand what he's saying. The only reason why you disagree, the only reason why you don't understand what I'm saying, because you've already justified what you're doing. There's a negative aspect in your life that you're holding on to and you justifying and saying it's your happiness. And you won't agree because you're not clear on what you need to do. But that's your problem. And that's no one else but yours. And you're going to have to deal with that. Nobody else's fault. The people that love you still going to love you, but you have to come to terms with what you're doing. Let all that shame go. Let all that stuff that you did in your past go. Stop holding on to it because you're bearing yourself down. And for ladies, if you want a man and you're bringing that to him, you're weighing yourself down. And for fellas, if you want a woman to come in your life and you bringing that stuff from the past, you're going to destroy her. Be clear about who you are as a person. Be clear about who you want to be in life. Just provide clarity to everyone around you and receive everything that God has in store for you. I got clarity. It's very clear to me. See the smile? Love y'all.